On this Andy's Autosport Manufacturer Spotlight, we're going to talk with Louis from ClutchMasters. Hey Louis, welcome to the studio. Glad to have you here.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So let's talk a little bit about ClutchMasters and what you guys have got going on. I'm pretty excited about some new products that you guys have out. You got a couple new series that you're introducing.
Yes, we do. We have our new FX 250 series, and we have our FX 350 series that is available now. We've been doing a lot of testing with this new product, and it's awesome. It just gives you a lot more better varieties for the street, for the race, just the best of both worlds at this point. And we've been doing testing for about 5 years, and we are very comfortable on introducing it to the public now.
Well, that's great that you guys spend so much time on the R&D, making sure that you have all the bugs worked out and things that you want. Now, these are basically steps-ups from your Stage 2 and Stage 3, is that correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so let's talk about the 250 series. What's different about the 250 series? Say a little bit better than the 200 series. What have you changed on that?
The difference between the 200 and the 250 is that the 200 is basically more for a vehicle that's more of a vehicle that's being driven to shows and not really drag racing, but is making some nice horsepower. It sees more shows than the race. The FX 250. That one gives you a little bit more of both worlds. It could be driven to the shows, and you could also have some fun with it too.
Now, the 350 series. Let's talk. What's different about the 350 series? Tell us the key advantage of the 350 series clutch.
The key advantage of the 350 series clutch is that every single clutch kit needs a 500-mile break-in period. Okay. With the 350, we still recommend it, but it's not as critical as the Kevlar that we offer. Kevlar is a great material, don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful material, but it's very, very critical that you make the 500-mile break-in period.
Okay. Now, on the 350 series clutch, this is designed for like what kind of driving? With this?
The 300 series, that one will handle roughly right about 100% overstock, okay? Depending on the way the vehicle is going to be driven, and also what it's going to be used for. If it's a full street car, if it's a full drag car, if it's a road race car, makes the biggest difference on how to make the choice what clutch kit to put on there. The FX 350 is a beautiful clutch kit for the vehicles that it's more of a street car and 10% of a race car.
Occasionally go to the track. So let's talk about ClutchMasters in general. What makes ClutchMasters a little different than other companies? Why should somebody pick a ClutchMasters clutch over some other brands?
ClutchMasters is known for their the pedal effort on the clutch itself. One of the things that we really like to sell is the way our pressure plate is built. Our pressure plate does not give you the heavy pedal, and they're very streetable.
And one of the things about the ClutchMasters, I have that in a couple of my cars as well, the pedal effort is, you almost can't tell the difference. They almost, I don't want to say they feel soggy, because they don't, because you can definitely tell that they engage. Yes. And that's certainly a huge difference between your clutches and others.
Yes, yes it is. And that's one of the things, I mean, right off the bat, ClutchMaster saves you money because you don't no longer have to go to the gym to work out that leg. So right off the bat, we're going to save you money.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Okay. Well, and also there's a lot of wear and tear that comes along with those heavy clutch, those heavy clutch pedals too.
Yes.
You've got cables, you've got clutch slave cylinders and master cylinders, and the more effort that you have to use in order to depress those, the more wear and tear it puts on those components.
Yes, it does.
So let's talk a second about how you would go about choosing the proper clutch for your vehicle. When you have like basic bolt-ons, you got a little more power. Which clutch would you recommend for like a basic bolt-on? Do you have a rule of thumb on that?
Rule of thumb for a basic bolt-on, yes we do. If it's somebody that just drives their car, wants something just a little bit better, but does not really abuse their vehicle, they're not abusing their car, we recommend anything between a stage 1 to a stage 2. Up to a 250 if they like. If they're out there abusing their car and being a little bit more aggressive with it, even if the car is stock, let's just say the basic bolt-ons, header, intake, exhaust, and but they're abusing it, then we kind of like to recommend them either on a 3 or a 350.
Okay.
The reason being is because that's going to give them a little better bite, and if a customer's abusing it, he wants a bite on the clutch kit.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Now, let's talk another thing. Now, you've got the higher end stuff too. You've got some multi-disc clutches.
Yes, we do.
And then the 400 and 500 series. Let's talk about those a little bit. At what point do you need to go up to that next level?
The FX400 is more basically for somebody that's real aggressive on their vehicle and it's a daily driver.
Okay.
That's where we like to recommend the FX400s. Yes, does it matter how much horsepower they're making? A lot of times it does, but a lot of times the main thing that ClutchMasters focuses on is the driving habits of the customer.
Okay.
Okay. The driving habits on the customer tells us a lot by if he could be a stock engine, but if he's driving very aggressively, obviously he could burn up very easily either the FX 100, 200, 300, sure, or even the 350. Mm-hmm. That's when 400s come in play. This customer, if he's a very aggressive driver, he really doesn't care about the life expectancy of his clutch kit. He's worried more about the hookup. He wants it to hook up, and you know what? He don't want no clutch slip. So that's when you want to recommend the FX400.
So if he's an aggressive driver, he basically knows that a clutch is a consumable at that point.
Exactly, yes.
Okay. Now the 400 series clutch, is that the last series of clutches that actually still has the damping springs in the disc itself?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and then the 500 series is when you go with no damping springs. Now this is where you're going to get some serious bite.
Yes, yes it is. The FX500, they are very aggressive. We don't recommend them for the street. That clutch kit, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful clutch kit too, sure, but it's more of a clutch kit when somebody's out at the track and they need something to put on there right away because you know what, hey, we have one more pass to go, 2 or 3 more passes, get some dyno runs. It's not going to last very long.
And then you have, and now we have a dual disc clutches as well.
Yes.
And what now? When would you recommend somebody go into a dual disc clutch?
Dual disc is mainly based more for race cars, mm-hmm, and we offer 2 different types of twin disc. We offer a 725 series, mm-hmm, and a 850 series. Our 725 series being more for lightweight, drag racing, road racing. Okay, and we also offer our 850 series, which that one we call it's a little bit more streetable. Is it really streetable? Not really.
Right.
It's a twin disc. But that's for somebody that's making a lot of horsepower and wants a twin disc. Wants to really put it down to the wheels. A single disc does not handle it no more, and he's gonna live with a little bit. Well, actually, with some drivability.
When you get those real high horsepower deals, that's when you really need to go with the dual disc.
Yes, it's kind of hard to get the best of both worlds. You're not going to get a very streetable clutch kit, and you're going to have to sacrifice something. And that's where our 850 series come in. We build them for a lot of drift cars.
Oh, okay.
For a lot of professional drift drivers, we build their clutches, and they work awesome. Usually, drifters go through clutches quite a bit, and a lot of these guys that we're actually sponsoring, the one clutch kit will last them a whole season. Some of them have 2 complete seasons with the same clutch kit. Right. And we see people out at the drift events, professional drifters, replacing clutch kits left and right. Sometimes once every time they go out there to the track.
Sure. And those guys, they have to be on and off the throttle, and they kind of use that clutch in order to break the tires loose, and that's what they use as kind of their little slipping point sometimes too. So, and you guys have a great lineup of flywheels too. You have aluminum and the chromoly as well.
Yes, we do. Chromoly, steel. Mm-hmm. Chromoly and the steel. There's 3 different types of flywheels we offer, and it just depends. Some of what it is. A lot of the times, if they're street-driven cars, we kind of like to recommend either the steel or the chromoly.
Sure.
Aluminum's great too. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
On some of the newer vehicles, especially like the European applications, like Porsche, BMW, Audi, stuff like that, those come with what you call a dual mass flywheel.
Right.
Very heavy flywheel. A lot of times if you go real light on there with an aluminum flywheel, what happens is you get a rattling noise on there, and that's normal. That noise has always been in your car. The difference is that flywheel works. It's a dampener. Yes, right. It's a dampener, so it's actually dampening the noise. It's not allowing it to go outside of the vehicle. It's actually leaving it there. So what happens when you get rid of the dual mass flywheel, you go to a single mass, that noise is actually going out. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with your car, but
you're hearing noises that you didn't normally hear because the flywheel's not absorbing it.
Exactly. And when you go with a little bit heavier flywheel, which is either a chromoly or a steel flywheel, then what happens is that flywheel is actually a little bit heavier, so it puts a little bit of more weight on the drivetrain of the input shaft of the transmission, and it actually keeps those gears from rattling a little bit less.
Gotcha.
Is there still noise? There's sometimes still a little bit of noise, but it's not as bad as the aluminum flywheel. Don't get me wrong, aluminum flywheels are awesome.
Right.
They're awesome flywheels.
I would recommend that when somebody's there, they might as well replace their flywheel too, and they're going to get a good, perfectly flat surface there. Also, if you're going to the extent of replacing and upgrading your clutch, it's probably time to upgrade the flywheel, especially if you're going to go to the track. Now, are your products, your flywheels and clutch discs, are those SFI certified?
Yes, they are. They are SFI certified.
Okay, and that's important in racing organizations. They want to see that tag, or they sometimes don't even let you go out on the track.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and at what point are your discs, are your clutches SFI? Are they all SFI certified, or just certain ones?
They're all SFI certified. Every single clutch kit that we offer is SFI certified.
Okay, and what about flywheels?
Flywheels, every single one is also SFI certified.
Wow, that's great. So that's excellent news there. So when it's time to replace that clutch, always good to get that flat surface with a fresh flywheel as well.
Very, very highly recommend it.
Okay. So we've been doing business together for quite a few years, and I tell you what, we really enjoy doing business with ClutchMasters. Has it been a good relationship with you?
Yes, it has. I think you guys are great. Awesome. I mean, you guys really know how to recommend the proper clutch kit for the customers. One of the things that I notice is, we sell you guys clutches, and it's rare when we get any warranties. And that's because you guys do an awesome job as far as recommending the proper clutch kit for the application of the vehicle.
You guys make an absolute superior product, so we're really happy to add to have ClutchMasters as one of our clutches that we offer.
And we also appreciate you guys because you guys, like I said, you guys are awesome, and you guys are very easy to deal with, and your guys really know what they're doing out there when they're recommending clutches.
Well, we appreciate that. Louis, thank you so much for coming by the studio today.
Thank you very much.
We hope you guys have learned something today, and we'll see you on another Andy's Autosport Manufacturer Spotlight.